Ladies and gentlemen, this week we've got a brand new Marvel movie coming to theaters. Isn't that exciting? Man, I can't wait to see what the MCU has cooked up for us this time. Oh, wait, it's not Marvel. It's Marvel by way of Sony. Oh, okay, well, I guess that can still be good, right? Okay, so to be fair, not every Marvel by way of Sony movie has been bad. For my money, they're behind the two greatest Spider-Man films ever made, with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse being absolute masterpieces. And the Venom movies, while they were basically elevated B movies, were a decent amount of fun thanks to Tom Hardy's merciless scenery chewing. And, I mean, the grosses for those films have been astronomical. So clearly there is an audience out there for them.
We are Venom.
But Morbius. Of course, one of the reasons people aren't all that hyped about Madam Web is the fact that the character, let's just say she's not a household name. For those who aren't in the loop, in the comic, Madam Web is a paralyzed, blind clairvoyant, which is distinctly not what Dakota Johnson is playing here. In fact, she's already appeared in A Matter of Speaking in Across the Spider-Verse as a guidance counselor voiced by Rachel Dratch.
And what are you doing later?
Oh, sorry. I'm kind of seeing anybody else.
There. Oh, Brouch.
So it seems Sony's taken a rather, shall we say, loose approach to adapting the character to the big screen, which is fine. I think the reason people may have been down on it is the meme-worthy trailer. Which, yes, okay, so that became a thing. Fair enough.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
The posters also looked whipped together and certainly didn't help. With everyone assuming this would, well, just be another B superhero movie. So, what's the verdict? Madam Web is, unfortunately, something of a mess. I don't know exactly what happened, but the four credited writers, who include director S.J. Clarkson, aren't able to make a compelling addition to the Spider-Verse. Like so many films of its ilk, it teases the movie fans actually want to see, which is a full-on Spider-Woman team-up film, which is something we seem to be promised in the trailer. However, this is a prequel establishing how Cassie Webb meets the three girls who later become costume superheroes. However, here, they're teens being hunted by Tahar Rahim's Ezekiel Sims, who has powers similar to Spider-Man, but, you know, he's evil. We learn in the beginning, which boasts a cameo by Carrie Boucher of my beloved *Halt and Catch Fire* as Cassie's mother, that, well, Cassie's mom was a spider researcher in the Amazon who was betrayed by her assistant Sims. He leaves her to die but acquires certain powers, but they come with a curse. He's clairvoyant, but he can see his death at the hands of three costumed heroines, who here are played by Celeste O'Connor, Isabella Merced, and, hilariously, Sydney Sweeney, who wears thick sweaters and glasses in an effort to fool us into thinking, well, she's only 16. Given how much of a star she's become, thanks to Euphoria, where she was playing a teen like 3 or 4 years ago, and Anyone But You, audiences may find her playing such a young character unintentionally hilarious. But that's not the only goofy part of this movie. It has to be said that some of the dialogue here is rough. It's jam-packed with so much exposition and so many references to other Spider-Man characters that it becomes so cheesy. Adam Scott here plays a guy whose identity I'm not going to spoil here, that turns out to be a major character in the Spider-Man universe, so his full name is awkwardly said out loud a few times, just in case we don't get the many, many hits being dropped. I suppose for the benefit of those whose attention might waver, that might help. Fair enough, because that happened to me more than a few times here, meaning my attention did waver from time to time. In the lead, Dakota Johnson does all she can. She gives Cassie some attitude and is entertaining until the abysmal epilogue, where her performance becomes quite campy, which does not bode well for this hoped-for franchise. She's being set up as kind of the Professor X of the Spider-Verse, but I'm not sure that role will fit her particularly well. Merced, O'Connor, and Sweeney bring the requisite spunk to their roles and may well be excellent choices for a future team-up movie, hopefully allowing them to play characters that are closer to their own age, because they do not look like 15 or 16-year-olds like they're being kind of set up as. Of everyone, the only person I think, though, who comes off really, really poorly in the cast is Tahar Rahim. Now, he's an excellent actor, having delivered a stunning performance in the film Prophet, which is well worth checking out, but something is very off with his performance here, making it seem like a lot of his dialogue was changed in post-production looping. In fact, you don't even see him mouth a lot of really kind of important exposition sequences. Something is going on here, and it's very noticeable. It makes him come off as a bland villain, saddled with terrible exposition that seems like it was added after the fact. Indeed, it's really the writing that dooms this smaller-scaled film. Early on, Cassie is established as being on the run from the cops, but, she can just jet off to Peru without worrying about being caught. The movie is set in 2003, so it can justify the lack of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, allowing them to pepper the film with needle drops that mostly date back years before the film takes place. The only exception is in an action scene set to Britney Spears' Toxic because, hey, it's set in the early aughts. You gotta have Britney, right? Director S.J. Clarkson is noted for her excellent TV work, which includes the great Netflix Marvel show Jessica Jones. Still, the style she brought to that is pretty absent here, with some strange choices, including distracting use of shaky cam that comes in during some of the dialogue scenes early on. Perhaps it's fitting as it takes place in 2003, an era where shaky cam was just in every movie, but it seems kind of bizarre now. Given the modest budget, there's also very little in the way of action until the finale, which I guess is supposed to set up further adventures for the cast, but I don't know. I really have my doubts anyone's gonna walk out of Madame Web thinking that, oh, this is gonna be a franchise. In the end, Madame Web could have been a decent little B-side of a superhero film, kind of like the Venom movies, but terrible cornball dialogue and a lackluster pace doom it early on. I give this a pretty bad 5 out of 10. I was very bored from the time it started till the time it ended. It wasn't even so bad it was good. It was just kind of bad. It's really only for superhero movie completists. To note, the version of the movie I saw had no post-credit scene, so when the credits roll, you're free to go.
He's trying to change what happens. Get down!